All right, so we're here with the owners of Kivi Music, that's Kivi Music, and Virtual Sound Studios. Let's just start by you guys introducing yourself and your title here at your company.
My name is Justin Glazer. I own and operate Kivi Music. It's an artist development company. I work with lots of other companies in the music industry, and I'm sure we'll get to what else I do.
All right, cool.
I'm Grant. I'm Justin's assistant and intern. Do all the odd jobs.
I'm Josh. I own and operate Virtual Sound Studio, producer, engineer, artist. I'm also in a band, driving for.
Okay, cool. How long has Kivi Music been here at this location?
Kivi Music's been here for about 4 months. It's been around for 2 years.
Okay.
But we just recently moved up here about 4 months ago.
All right. Tell us a little bit about your background, how that played into creating Kivi Music.
Yeah, I worked for a label. And when I worked for the label, I constantly dealt with submissions of artists, independent artists saying, here I am as a label, will you accept me? And in doing that, I got a great education on what, as an independent label, they were looking for, what they wanted, what they were going to take. But I also had the other side where I had to explain to the artists why they wouldn't take them. In doing that, I realized that there was really no development stage. When I would say the reason that this label isn't interested, it would be because their music wasn't good enough, their image wasn't right to fit with their music, their marketing wasn't on the right path. There were things that I would have to tell artists which when I told them, they didn't understand. They thought that their music was to a point where anybody would like it, or their friends had told them, this is what you need, this is great. And when it came from a label, it was really difficult for them to hear it. So I got into the point of having to explain this is why they don't like it. And in doing that, I realized that most independent new artists didn't understand why people were saying that.
Okay. So you kind of take where they're at now, ask them where they want to go, and then you were good at choosing or telling them which path they need to go, like do this, don't do this,
Yeah,
sort of helping them on their image.
Every band has different goals. Every artist has different goals. Some people just want to write music just to be able to be a songwriter. Some bands want to just make music so they can tour and perform. Other artists want to get to a label so they can move forward. Other artists just want to be commercial. So you have to look at where they are, what their goals are, and give them sort of the best advice on how to get there.
Okay, so you're like a career consultant for bands.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how being here with Virtual Sound Studios works in Kivi, how you guys kind of do your thing together, where you cross paths?
That's a great question. The biggest mistake that independent artists make is that they rush to get into a studio and record stuff. When they do that, they don't have any objective input on whether their stuff is really good or really not good. They have their friends, their family, people around them saying, this is great. So they put the money into going into the studio and recording it. What's great about being here is working with Josh and Virtuo. The people that are here understand that, almost to a fault. They're very, very nice to people that come in here and say, listen, everybody's told me this is great, I'm going to do this. But at some point, somebody's going to tell you, you have talent or you're good, but this is how it needs to be done. What's great about Josh and Virtuo is they have the experience, years and years, of releasing music, especially in rock, to say, this is what our experience is, this is what's been successful for us, and this is what you're doing wrong, which is the biggest thing that people don't understand. somebody needs to tell you what you're doing wrong. Because independently, if you're doing everything right, and you think you're doing independent, you think you're doing everything right, you're wrong. Somebody at some point is going to tell you, you need to change this. If you want to get to your goals, this is how you need to do it. And they are better than anybody at telling artists, look, we think you should try this, kind of jumping outside the role of an engineer, or jumping outside of that role.
Okay, so what are some of the most common mistakes you see a young, let's say a talented band starting out? What would you advise them to do against what you find most bands are doing?
Experiment.
Okay.
First thing is experiment. Try things that you're not comfortable with. One of the biggest mistakes is that you're gonna hear positive feedback from people that are close to you, friends and family. So you're gonna use that and say, this is why I'm good. But you're not getting an objective opinion from someone in the industry. Get an objective opinion from someone who doesn't care to say, this is what's wrong, this is what's right. And don't spend money before you need to spend money. Practice before you record. Talk to people before you spend money in it. You know, search out the people that are really going to help you.
Okay. So when a band comes and seeks out your services, what are some of the first things, like first paths that you put them on?
Well, the very first thing I do is to ask their expectations. Because regardless of what level you're at, whether you're a platinum selling artist, or you're a touring artist, or you're just getting started, your expectations need to be in the right place. You're not going to be a millionaire rock star tomorrow just because your friends say you're good. It's a job, it's a career, and you need to work at it. And in doing that, you have to plan out how you're going to do that. And it's a business. How am I going to make money off of this? Can I make money off of this? Is this even worth me getting into? So the very first thing I do with artists is go through that. We're going to want to listen to music, talk to them about expectations, and decide if it's worth really putting the effort into. And if it is, how do you meet your expectations?
Okay. So what do you want bands, maybe that see this interview, to know about Kivi? What do you want them to know about your services? Just some closing thoughts that you might tell bands to get them to come to Kivi.
If nothing else, they'll get an honest, objective opinion. Whether they like it or don't like it, they're going to hear from a radio standpoint, from a publishing standpoint, from a licensing standpoint. They're going to hear things maybe they don't like to hear. So if nothing else, they're going to get an honest, objective opinion and a way to work on that.
Okay. So if you're out there watching this, hit up Kivi Music. Again, that's Kivi. Where'd you get that name, Kivi?
I don't think you have enough battery life.
Okay.
Long story short, influences on me. Part of the reason I'm in the music industry is very European based. My sort of mentor, in a sense, co-founded Ichiban Records. She was born in Finland. Finnish word for solid stone is Kivi.
Okay.
La da 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 da.
All right, cool. All right, we'll end it there with Kivi Music. Need some expert advice, some consulting from a real professional in the industry with years of experience. Hit up Kivi Music.